And we are recording. So, this is going to be the longest video I've made. It's just a compilation of a bunch of roads, mostly. There's some river footage too, and of some swamp footage. It's breakfast time here, still in the corona crisis. Dad had eggs, I'm having beer. I just keep on making him proud. He said that to me today. Doing my best for you, Dad. Nods his head. Alright, to the video. This is just a parking lot full of trailers. I don't know, I guess it's kind of neat because of how uniform it is. The conformity of trailers, right, Dane?
It's a distribution warehouse.
Distribution warehouse, whatever. But
no, it's a distribution warehouse.
Okay.
Not wide.
Well, I kind of figured it was for distribution because it's got a bunch of trailers. Oh, this one, it's got, you can actually see there's 3 tiny LED lights there, and they're about in the middle. And you can see them from really far away. I was actually impressed. They're just tiny little Christmas light bulbs size things. They're solar powered. And you can see them from really far away. You can actually see the different colors there. And they change colors. But I was impressed by those. We bought 4. They were supposed to be waterproof, and one of them got water in it and doesn't work anymore after the first day. Well, first maybe 6 hours of it existing, it broke. This is just river footage. I don't know. The river's pretty low. You can get like 2 feet higher if it's a good wet year, but this really dry. Looks like it's going to be a dry summer. Maybe not. Who knows? And, yeah, I'm just going to have a swig of beer here. Oh. And get this. I'm drinking Corona beer during the coronavirus crisis. So, I'm that edgy. At least the trees are starting to get green. I'm so used to the winter that never ended. I'm kind of half expecting it to snow like in August and June and just go back into winter. But, yeah, you can barely see the wires there, and that's why I was flying so high up. I wanted to get lower, but it would have been dangerous. And, yeah, later on in this video, on this river, like this is a fish hatchery there where the water's like cresting over the little barriers there, right? It's a fish hatchery. Well, whatever it is, it's some kind of water barrier, and I filmed it. It's a what?
A weir.
A weir? And what's a weir for? Excuse me. What's a weir for?
It's to keep the water back.
Oh.
Control the flow.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's just so weird. My signal was buggering up here. I think it's gonna like do a very robotic move here any second. Yeah, this is oh no, not quite. But I started losing my signal here because there's some tall trees in the way of where I was and where the drone is now. And it started to do the return to home feature. Well, that's got to be a fish hatchery. What's that there? With the little floaties there?
Yeah, that's, I don't know, it's just part of the dam there.
Okay. Does it actually go under the highway there?
Yeah, irrigation ditch.
Oh. Well, I didn't notice. Yeah, there. That's a return to home feature. Starts rising up. That's when I lost the signal, but I got it back right about here. And I stopped it, and okay, there's a canoer here coming up, and I have no idea what this guy was thinking. I started following him a bit, and I doubt he heard me because the water, he's right at the water surface, and there's a highway, and he probably wasn't looking up, so he didn't see me. I think he can see the canoer. He was trying to paddle up these rapids. I don't know if he did. I actually stopped because there was one point where I thought, like, he could have gotten sucked under if he wasn't careful, and I think after that, he kind of thought better of it. But, yeah, I just like water. But I don't like to see the rivers this low. Alberta's drying up, man. And, yeah, there he is. He's top center. And he's, I get a pretty good shot of him. But he's just testing his limits, and it almost cost him his life. Yeah, here he goes. I don't like following people, but this guy, he was doing something interesting. Yeah, like right there. I mean, if he got pulled under, he might have had a good chance of living, but he was not in control of that at all. And then he got out. But yeah, I don't know if people have paddled up that or not, but I don't even. That's not like a regular size canoe. That's like a
kayak.
Baby canoe. Oh,
it's a kayak.
Kayaks are bigger than that, aren't they?
No, it's a kayak.
I don't know, Dad. You're
Alright.
Contradicting my commentary here, making me look foolish.
No, you're wrong.
Alright, so he was kayaking up the river. And that's basically... He kind of stopped following after that. I don't think he was going to do anything interesting. It actually looks like it would be fun, but... I mean, I'd have to be in way better shape. And I sure as hell wouldn't do any paddling upriver, but... And I wouldn't paddle down a river like that. That's the danger zone, and I'm just not a risk taker. And then there's quite a few people walking around, even though they're supposed to be in quarantine, self-isolating. I wonder Alberta's like one of the more infected provinces. Nobody here wants to listen. There's a lot of traffic too for quarantined. I mean, I remember seeing early footage or pictures and stuff of Wuhan, and like they had city centers and stuff, and there was no cars, nothing. Like they weren't fooling around when they locked things down. But I mean, the West, which is why we get infected so much. But I mean, I'm all for herd immunity. You can't just be living inside. And most of the people that die are like, they have stuff wrong with them most of the time. Not all the time, but I mean, most of the deaths in Alberta have been like home care workers, or not home care workers, but the long-term care residents, they call them.
Elderly. Is that the word you're looking for?
No, it was just, they said long-term care workers. I mean, it could have been like cripples or something like that. They weren't specific about elderly or not. And this is just an overhead shot of the highway. You don't see this very often, so I was like, yeah, that's kind of a cool shot. And it is. I like this one. Goes on for a bit, and I mean, I just wanted to stand there and film in one spot and just watch the cars whiz by, but I mean, we were parked somewhere. You could actually see us in the upper right there if you were paying attention. And it said not to stop there. And I don't know if the business owners there might have been watching us and called the cops or something. And the cops would have told us to leave and asked what we were doing. And if I told them I was flying a drone, they might have done something. I would have had a suicide by cop. I'm not taking my drone. Oh, a little bird there. There's actually quite a few birds in this area. There's, I mean, there are mini wetlands, so this is the river again. Same river. I just wanted to, I mean, that golf course is really green there. Watering it good, but I just want to get more video footage of this highway here. And that brown murky line there is actually water. I mean, these guys have like a man-made river, and they got their little docks there in the middle of the prairies where it's dry, really dry, and they got like all these artificial bodies of water. So I mean, it looks neat, and it's obviously a work in progress because it's all dirty now, but it's getting there. I mean, it's gonna be some pretty high value properties here once they finish everything up. They'll probably even have fish in that river, I bet, one day, and they'll just keep stocking it for all the rich dicks that work that or live there. Yeah, and this is a town that I grew up in, and it is huge now. Like, look at that, gee. Pretty much covers the horizon there. And some areas I've never even been in now, so it's you can see the trampoline there and the kids playing in the backyard. I mean, these things are good. Like, even the people on the sidewalk there, you can see them good, but it would be a good spy utensil, but I just like seeing the scenery and stuff from different angles. Like, if I lived around here, I'd probably fly lower, but people might get, well, rich people seem less concerned about them, because I think more rich people own these than farmers are especially bad. Farmers don't like drones. They're paranoid about, they think you're scoping out their farm to rob them, which if I was going to do that, this would be a pretty good start, but I'm not there to do that. And that's why I never film farmhouses anymore, because the people that live in them are always assholes, 100% of the time. And we'll call that Big Buddy B's law. And yeah, I'll just wait for the scenery switch here. Oh wait, this is actually going to the field in the upper right there. Dad was walking Kelly, and he made a pretty good distance. Well, I made pretty good distance, and the time it took him to walk as far as he did, I covered a lot of ground. And I mean, I didn't even use up, I only used up 40% of the battery. I had another 60% to go, but I don't like to run it below 50, so yeah. Oh, big gathering of kids there. There's probably a lot of weirdos that live in neighborhoods like these. Can't trust them. Reminds me of like a Fallout, the video game kind of setting with that playground there. Any of the mole bears attacking you. And I do fly over this farmhouse, I think, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. Just trying to look for my dad here, and you can see him. I can see him. It's just a black speck way up in the farmer's field. It's like, yeah. He's not in there now. You can see him now. But it's another neat shot. I mean, yeah. Look at that guy's yard. His little dogs were running there. I didn't even notice this when I was filming. But, yeah, you can see my dad now if you're looking. He's walking towards the car. But you can't make out what he's doing. Just contrasts nicely with the bright little wheat field there. But there's no growing crops in this field. I think the farmer's leaving it alone for the year. And we're about 15 minutes into this, so we got 4 more minutes to go. Thank God my commentary's been good, though, because otherwise people might, my dad seems to disagree with that. But yeah, there, you can start to make out 2 distinct shapes coming. And I didn't want to, I wasn't going very fast for like the whole video. Just relaxing fly. It was kind of windy, but not too bad today. But I don't know, I just don't like flying it fast, because it's I rush the first couple of times when you're low and flying over something, and I probably will do more videos like that, but now it's just, why bother doing that? Just take a nice view, and you can see all three of us. And I wanted to fly over my dad lower and faster, but it was too close to the highway. It was protected there. I didn't know if I would brake in time. And this is just a quick video of some birds, but yeah, I didn't catch the commentary to sync with that. And this is more of the highway. I'm a big fan of this shot. It's a different area, and this one I film a bit more of the city, I think, and a bit of a little swamp here. I think I didn't see anything in it, but I mean, there's got to be some birds that are nesting or something in there. You'll see it on the upper right here, I think, but maybe not. Everything looks so cool from above. Wish I could miniaturize myself and just sit in a little basket under my drone. But yeah, I mean, even this high, this is a pretty cool little shot. And I don't know how many times I've driven this road, but I've never flown over this road this high. And I'm sure not a lot of other people have too. There, you see the marsh in the upper right there. There's this one really tall light. I mean, you wouldn't notice this unless you were flying, but there's like this huge tall light post right in the middle of this bridge. I've never even noticed it before this flying, and yeah, I thought I'd point that out, because I mean, you never think of like these, you always think of like the standard height street lights, but not this huge one. You know, I'll get a fairly good shot. I love this shot like this. Traffic going both ways, and it's just yeah. I wish I should have just shot downwards more. That's a more interesting shot than getting more view of anything. Yeah, like the tall lamps there to the left. I think you can actually see my thought process. I think I actually... Oh no, never mind. Okay, more of the river again. I'm not sure what I was doing for this. I didn't add any effects or anything, but I will add music to this. I was gonna add like a bunch of lightning strikes everywhere, but I don't know why. I figured out how to make lightning strikes and do like a forest fire thing after they strike, but I mean, that's too similar to my bomber videos, so I'll just video somebody riding a bike there. Calgary does have a lot of nice bike paths, I'll give it that. I mean, especially along the river, there's some nice ones. This is just two geese, and I scared them. They didn't like the drone, and then they both take off. And this guy, I mean, he really has to work, and he doesn't even get high off the ground. But he goes fast, so maybe that's the thrill. And I don't even know why they have this artificial lake in the middle of an industrial section. Like, yeah, it's got a bike path around it, but it's in the middle of an industrial section. Nobody's going to be like, let's go down to the industrial section to check out the man-made lake because it's so pretty there. Oh, that's it.